If he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know.
I told everybody Terence Crawford's pound for pound #1. Most journalists and writers in the sport have ranked Terence Crawford.
Difficult. He needs to handle and maintain the speed and improve his power. That's what I did. Like, maintain your speed and improve your power.
Roy Jones Jr. has made it crystal clear. Terence "Bud" Crawford would crush Floyd Mayweather if they ever fought, according to Roy. Crawford has everything needed to dismantle the defensive genius. His sharp instincts, power, and adaptability would drag Floyd out of his comfort zone. Jones believes Floyd's perfect 50-0 record was built on avoiding dangerous challenges, and Crawford, he says, is exactly the kind of opponent Mayweather never wanted to face.
You're leaning towards Crawford, is that correct?
I'm not saying I'm leaning towards him. I love both guys. Both guys are great fighters. Well, I can't say I'm leaning. I am leaning toward Crawford. I am. And not because Canelo is not a great fighter, but because I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows about Canelo. You feel me? So I don't know if Canelo's hungry. I know Bud is hungry. Bud stays hungry. I don't know if Canelo's hungry. Bud has never got the recognition for what he deserves like Canelo has. You understand me? So Bud is still hungry for that recognition. When you're hungry like that, a determined man, it's very hard to detour.
Roy breaks down what makes Crawford so special, skills that most fighters only dream of. First, Crawford's ring IQ, his ability to read opponents, adapt mid-fight, and set traps. Second, his stance switching, seamlessly fighting orthodox and southpaw, creating confusion and openings. Third, his timing and punch setup, knowing exactly when and where to strike, mixing jabs, body shots, and feints. Fourth, his movement and angles, slipping, pivoting, and staying just close enough to counter. And finally, his power with precision. Not just raw strength, but the ability to land the perfect shot at the perfect time. Roy says that combination is what makes Crawford so dangerous. Intelligent violence.
Gotta rank him probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10. Because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud, no.
Jones believes Crawford is now at his absolute peak. Undefeated, experienced, versatile, and still hungry. He's proven that he can adapt, carry power through weight classes, and dominate from any position in the ring. At 167 pounds, Crawford blends speed, strength, and ring IQ like no one else in boxing today. Roy says if this is his moment, Crawford could rewrite boxing history.
As Canelo Alvarez has been a great fighter his whole career, people like Erislandy Lara gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. People like Floyd Mayweather also gave you the blueprint on how to beat him. But Bud is more fierce, more fearsome, and more angrier, and more meaner than both of those guys. So if they showed you the blueprint, Bud gonna go out there and take that blueprint and do even more with it, which is what Bud did. So it was never a question in my mind whether Bud really was going to outbox me, just if he could take the punch. And right away he showed, bam, he could take the punch. So I knew from that point, if he just slow him down, which he did, he'd be okay. Then late in the fight, what other people still didn't see, late in the fight, Bud started hitting Canelo's body. One of those body shots, I think about the 7th or 8th round, hurt Canelo. I was like, whoa. Bud hit him in the right spot then. He got Canelo's respect with that too. So Bud fought a very, very awesome fight, fought a beautiful fight, very tactical.
Very controlled.
Yes, it was a beautiful fight for boxing.
It was a beautiful fight. Bud got hit with some shots.
He did. He got hit with some single shots going out. He's going out and Canelo, if he has you trapped in the corner or along the ropes, it's typically 1 to 2 big shots. You know that if you've watched him. Yep.
So you could tell Crawford, as he was going out, he knew the one shot was coming, and several times it landed. He even got hit with a 2-piece. I don't remember what round it was, uppercut right hand that Crawford took well. So when you started seeing him absorb the shots, if you're Team Crawford, you don't want him to take that shot. But if you started seeing that, now you know that, okay. And I think that's what gave Crawford the green light to stay there a little bit longer.
He smiled about it.
He smiled about it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that smile can be a lie, and sometimes that smile can mean what I think it meant for Crawford, which is, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was.
However, critics warn that a fight with Mayweather might actually hurt Crawford's legacy. They argue that chasing a retired fighter, known now for exhibition bouts, could make it look like Crawford is seeking money, not greatness. Some also question Mayweather's historical wins. Canelo was only 22 when Floyd beat him. Pacquiao fought injured, and Floyd's refusal to grant rematches left fans feeling there were too many unanswered what-ifs. In contrast, Crawford has defeated top-tier opponents at their peak, not past it, from Errol Spence to Canelo, earning respect as a fighter who conquers the best when they're still dangerous. The relationship between Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. has always been complicated, built on respect, but clouded by rivalry. Both are legends. Both changed the game, but their egos often clash.
What's happening, fight fans around the world? I know how y'all are. I know y'all enjoy this thing of boxing. I know we play games and people have their issues and people have opinions. It's cool too. I got opinions and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it worked. Because if you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready. Wide open, ready to go. Just call me.
Is there something that you want to elaborate on, or is there something that maybe you don't like about Floyd?
One thing I don't like is that you don't respect elders. You talk about Muhammad Ali got beat by an 8-0 fighter. That 8-0 fighter was an Olympian who was a monster, who, if you had a monster like that in your weight class, you wouldn't fight him at that time. You understand where I'm coming from? So, that being said, you're disrespecting the greatest fighter of all time. And if you disrespect him, you disrespect anybody. So you have no respect. But when you see me, you're gonna have some respect. Because if you want to get it, we can get it. I'm willing to go earn my respect.
But I didn't hear you say anything disrespectful about Floyd.
I never do. I'm not the disrespectful type of guy. That's not who I am. I'm the type of guy. The reason I'm not disrespectful is because when I say something, I'm ready to die for it. So if I say this, I'm willing to die for this. You understand me?
You stand on it.
I stand on it. You understand me? I'm not, like I said, I don't think
Roy has claimed he was the more naturally gifted boxer, dominating across multiple weight classes, while Floyd points to his perfect record and business success as proof he's the best. Tension spiked when Roy dismissed Floyd's TBE the best ever label, calling it disrespectful to past legends. Floyd fired back, saying Roy's late career losses damaged his legacy. The rivalry isn't about fighting each other. It's about who truly owns the crown of boxing. Immortality. Jones insists that Floyd's best ever claim only applies to business, not pure boxing greatness. He says he's not trying to disrespect Floyd, but he'll always tell the truth as he sees it and stand by it. To Roy, greatness is measured by challenges faced, not pay-per-view numbers earned. Recently, Roy Jones Jr. confirmed that Mayweather doesn't even make his personal top 5 greatest boxers of all time. He admits Floyd might belong in the top 10, but says his resume doesn't match the elite standard. According to Roy, too, many of Mayweather's biggest wins came against fighters past their prime. Timing matters, he said, beating Pacquiao after he'd already been through wars. That's not the same as beating him in his prime. For Jones, it's simple. Crawford is fighting real killers right now. Floyd, he says, was too busy protecting perfection.
Oh my goodness, I said that was gonna happen. If Crawford was to win, we're gonna be seeing a lot of these debates on whether or not Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford is gonna be better. Now this is gonna be a debate for a long time. I'm talking about one of those debates like LeBron versus MJ, Messi versus Ronaldo. It's one of those. And the thing is, I can get behind it. Let me go ahead and say this. When it comes to resume, I do think we give Floyd Mayweather the edge. I mean, he beat a bunch of champions. He reigned for a long time. While Crawford, his resume is heavily criticized, and he's just not getting, his kind of respect for beating Errol Spence and Canelo Alvarez. But if we're talking strictly off of skills, this is where things get really tough to talk about. I think a fair assessment of this matchup would be Floyd Mayweather wins from 135 and 140, while Crawford wins from 147 to 154. And I say that because I feel like Floyd's style changed once he got to welterweight. He became a more defensive fighter, and he just wasn't as much focused on offense. And knowing this, I feel like Crawford would have had a much better chance of handling him. And we all know, Crawford was an absolute monster at welterweight. But hey, man, like I said, this is going to be a debate for a very long time. I can't wait to hear all the talk about it. But I'm curious on your thoughts. Who you think wins in the fight? Floyd, or Terence Crawford? Let's talk about it and follow me for more boxing talk.